Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Greg Ulma with Key Performance Ideas, and I would like to welcome you to our webinar, Smart View, How to Look Smarter. Today's webinar will be presented by Shane Schmitt. Shane is the Director of Consulting Services and Delivery and has been successfully implementing Hyperion solutions for domestic and international organizations since 1990. With considerable experience in finance and accounting, he has hands-on experience with month-end close and budget and forecast cycles. He also has extensive experience optimizing Hyperion applications and understands how to leverage his practical work experience, the proper use of technology, and best practices to maximize existing investments. Thank you, Shane, for presenting today.
Thanks, Greg, and good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for attending today's webinar. This presentation is geared towards executives and decision makers, as well as analysts who support business partners throughout the organization. I also want to point out that I have many years of experience supporting executive management as I have held various roles within finance and accounting functions. One of my goals today is to help you understand the art of the possible when using Oracle's Smart View. In today's business world, time is everything. Given that you have made an investment in one of Oracle's market-leading tools such as Planning, PBCS, HFM, or Essbase, it only makes sense to leverage Smart View, as this will allow you to consume data faster, more accurately, and in a self-service fashion. As I previously mentioned, that time is everything. With Smart View, you and your users will spend less time gathering and formatting data and more time analyzing information. Furthermore, users will be able to create efficient reporting processes and eliminate monotonous and error-prone efforts. Let me quickly go through the agenda for today. First, I'll give you an overview of Smart View. The current version is 11.125.700, recently released in April. Secondly, I'd like to talk about data consumption for executives by reviewing a series of flash reports and dashboards. Thirdly, I'll show you some advanced Smart View techniques to help you take your Smart View experience to a new level. And lastly, I'll go through some of the latest features and functionality of Oracle Smart View. My hope is that you'll find something good in the presentation and maybe even learn something new. Smart View is an add-in for the Microsoft Office suite. It allows users to access data from Oracle's on-premise and cloud application. It also allows users to analyze data, modify or adjust data, and submit those changes to the database. Smart View also gives you ad hoc capabilities. It allows you to connect to Planning, Essbase, and HFM to create free-form templates for analyzing your data. It supports easy drag-and-drop layout, and users can have the analysis and share it with others. In addition to the ad hoc free-form capability, there is also predefined analysis. Users can work with existing objects from their Planning, Essbase, and HFM applications. For example, users can work with an existing planning form via Smart View to load data and then subsequently execute a business rule. Essentially, users who prefer to work in Excel can do so with the same functionality as if they were accessing their Hyperion applications via the web interface. Lastly, Smart View can generate some great integrated reporting. For example, users can embed existing financial reporting reports into PowerPoint, Excel, and Word. Once the report is embedded, the data can be refreshed as needed. This section of the presentation is going to focus on data consumption for executives. I will be displaying various flash reports and dashboards. So let's suppose you are the VP of sales at the Beverage Company and you just can't get the information you need in a timely manner. The upcoming slides will help you understand the art of the possible from Smart View. In order to take you through the upcoming slides, let's assume you have a business and an application to support your business analysis that is set up as follows. We have an Essbase application that contains 5 dimensions. The scenario dimension contains actual and budget data. The year dimension contains months, which roll into quarters. The measures dimension contains a rather simple P&L hierarchy. The products dimension contains our beverage product offering consisting of colas, root beer, cream soda, and fruit soda. The market dimension captures where we sell our products by state into one of the 4 regions in the U.S., East, West, Central, and South. So imagine you are the VP of sales on day 1 of the close and are anxious to see how sales are looking for the month. On this slide, you'll see a monthly flash report that gives you monthly sales information by product category on the left. And on the right side of the report, you will see the variance to budget. This is a typical flash report that can be updated during the close process. If you notice the point of view in the upper left corner, this particular flash report allows you to flip between months to see historical data. If you wanted to compare trends for a particular product, I would recommend creating another report and moving the products to the point of view and moving the months to the columns to compare trends. And now that you've looked at sales, let's say you want to flip between sales, COGS, and margin. SmartView lets you do all of this in a self-service fashion with accurate, real-time information. Simply just change your point of view selection and hit refresh. Looking at the point of view, you can see the 3 accounts to choose from. What's nice is that this report is structured to allow the executive to only choose among these accounts during the beginning of the close for the purpose of flash reporting. Certainly, clicking on the ellipsis will allow the user to add more members to the list for analytical purposes, but again, this report is set up for flash reporting early on in the close process. Lastly, I want to point out that you can print the POV members in the header or footer of an Excel document. How to do this can be found in the SmartView User's Guide. I have found that the point of view, or POV, is extremely useful and powerful, particularly when leveraging within flash reports or dashboards. In my opinion, the POV provides structure and discipline for reporting. Additionally, it also allows users to easily navigate for different analysis. The right-hand side of the slide contains the POV from each of the previous 2 report examples. For example, by clicking on the month, you will see the time periods available for selection. Once you have selected the desired month, simply click on the refresh and your report is updated. It's that easy. The next number of slides, I will be displaying SmartView dashboards using Excel. These are simply Excel graphs leveraging the data that SmartView retrieved from the database. As a VP of sales, I'm not only interested in viewing sales, but also viewing how margins, expenses, and profit are tracking throughout the year amongst our product offerings. This view is displaying data for the East. However, it is set up to also show data for all markets as well as the West, South, and Central. All you need to do is go to the point of view and select the region and click refresh. Once again, this lets you change your analysis in a self-service fashion. You don't need to go to Ask Finance or one of your analysts to run a report for you. This is a little different dashboard that I have set up for the VP of Sales. It displays monthly product data by an account and market in both your standard data grid and a bar chart. What's nice is the bar chart gives you a graphical representation of the data. You can hover over a particular section of the graph, and it will give you the data value and what it's comprised of. In this example, you can see that cream soda for July is 1,926. Lastly, the POV allows the VP to navigate various P&L accounts as well as select the desired region. Another dashboard that is great for illustrating the proportion is a pie chart. This view is set up to run for various P&L accounts for a given month, illustrating the product breakdown by region. The view quickly and easily allows my VP of Sales to see any oddities that might visually pop. In this example, we can see that cream soda in the East is only making up 1% of September's profit. As I'm now wondering what's happening in the East for cream soda, I can go to my dashboard that displays product trends by region. As I focus on cream soda in the East, I notice that profit has dropped since July and is almost 0 for September. This is concerning to me, and now I need to do some more analysis to try and determine the issue. So, again, as VP of Sales, I'm continuing now with my investigation into September's East cream soda results. I now have switched to my dashboard containing a P&L region breakdown for a product. When I set my POV to cream soda, I quickly notice in the East that New York is where my issue lies as profit is negative. Now I want to start navigating into my cream soda product category. As I've mentioned before, the POV, or point of view, is very powerful. When I change my selection to vanilla cream and refresh the data, it quickly becomes apparent to me that New York had an issue with COGS, thereby creating a negative margin and ultimately a negative profit. I think it's now time to get on a conference call with my folks in New York. Before I get on the conference call, though, I also want to be able to have some more data at my fingertips. What I've done here is refresh my cream soda product breakdown for New York. This dashboard essentially has two graphs illustrating the same data in two different ways. One is a line chart and the other is a bar chart, both of which are referencing the data above the graphs. It is with this view that I can ask my team from New York about the $251 of COGS when there's only $112 of sales. What's also really important to executives is compensation. It is not uncommon for executives to be compensated based on performance relative to budget. In this dashboard, executives can quickly and easily view how actual data is compared to budget for a particular product and market, as there is a line graph for sales, margin, expenses, and profit. Some executives may also want to have the forecast and prior year data added to the view as well. What's interesting in this picture is that you can see that sales and margins are performing better than budget, but expenses are noticeably unfavorable, causing profit to be unfavorable to budget. In this example, I quickly changed the POV to cream soda for the East to investigate how cream soda was performing relative to the budget for September. If you recall in the earlier product breakdown by region pie chart slide, cream soda made up only 1% of the profit. When we look at the profit graph, it illustrates that cream soda is performing slightly unfavorable to the budget. Another interesting dashboard is one that displays some key performance indicators. In this example, the data market grid displays sales, margin, and profit for actual and budget by a specific product and market, which are located in the point of view. The two graphs highlight the actual and budget margin percentage and profit percentage. It is unclear in this example that profit for cream soda in the East is being impacted by expenses as actual is tracking the budget for margin percentage. This sample report and the one following are more commonly used within monthly reporting packages. However, I wanted to show a couple of examples. This butterfly report is displaying actual month and quarter P&L data for the East product categories. Lastly, this butterfly report is helpful in understanding actual performance compared to budget. This example is displaying monthly actual P&L data for the East product categories on the left, with the associated favorable, unfavorable variances to budget on the right. I just went through numerous examples of flash reports, dashboards, and reports for monthly packages. What I want to highlight is that refreshing data is simple if your reports are properly structured. All of the reports I just displayed are contained in one workbook and will refresh by one simple click. With one click, you have a brand new updated suite of reports and analysis you can drill into. If you notice in the highlighted drop-down menu in the ribbon, you will see refresh all worksheets. Being able to refresh all worksheets in one click is a beautiful thing, just like fireworks, and it saves a lot of time when refreshing data. As I just mentioned, I went through numerous examples of reports and dashboards. This was only a small sample of the types of variations of reports and dashboards that can be created. The desired reports and dashboards really depend on your business. Some other key performance indicator ideas for dashboarding are listed on this slide. I'm hopeful that I have shown you the art of the possible from the Smart View. When you have properly developed reports and dashboards, thereby creating an efficient reporting process, you will be able to eliminate monotonous and error-prone efforts. Additionally, you can find out that you are spending less time gathering and formatting data and more time analyzing information. Lastly, you will have created a self-service environment for executive management, enabling them to consume more data at a faster rate, allowing them to make better, timely decisions. Now, I'd like to spend some time sharing some advanced techniques. One of the pain points for users is updating monthly reporting packages or decks. In my past experience, this was a painful process, particularly when last-minute adjustments were made. I can't tell you how many hours is spent copying and pasting reports and graphs into PowerPoint. Now, SmartView can alleviate all this manual work. You can embed your FR reports into PowerPoint as well as Word and Excel. Once the report is embedded, all you need to do is refresh the data. Seriously, this is a big time saver. Additionally, it makes it a lot easier to know if you have the most recent data in your reporting package or deck. In this slide, I embedded a Hyperion Financial Reporting report, which is on the left side of the slide. On the right side of the slide, I have displayed some of the user interaction with SmartView. To refresh the report within PowerPoint, select Refresh from the SmartView ribbon. Once the data is refreshed, a window will appear indicating that the page has been updated. This is really powerful, as you don't have to copy and paste data from other sources into the presentation time and time again. Simply embed the object once and refresh from that point forward. I know I previously showed some butterfly reports, but I thought it was worth bringing up again. For reporting, we are conditioned to list the member names to the left of the rows and above the column. This doesn't always have to be the case. A butterfly report is simply a column of members between two sets of data. When connected to Essbase, you can create grids with different layouts using the range retrieval of worksheets enabled for multiple grids. Have you ever had the perfect report and then were asked to recreate it for all of your products? For example, once you have a layout you like, you can choose Cascade from the SmartView ribbon, and then choose whether to have the new reports added as tabs in the existing workbook, new workbook, or saved in different workbooks. In the example here, I want to recreate the P&L for all products using the Cascade functionality. If you look at the screenshot on the right, you will notice that I have a P&L for each of the products on a different worksheet in a new workbook. Do you have users that need restricted access to data? Do you have several dimensions and hundreds or thousands of members and would like a different starting ad hoc analysis? If so, a potential solution is to create a smart slice. A smart slice essentially creates a slice of the database to set member boundaries that users can view and work with. Smart slice is not commonly used, but it is a great option within SmartView. It provides a limited perspective of the database. It is very helpful for users that are not familiar with navigating the database. Very helpful for users that have limited views to the data. The smart slice essentially provides a starting point for the query. Would you like to run a report that displays the top products based on sales for January? Using Smart Query, you can do this quickly and easily. I created a query to display the top products based on January sales. The results from the query are shown in the Excel grid. A smart query is a multidimensional analysis and reporting tool constructed for multiple sets of members and filters. As an example, you can filter on top or bottom data values. You can also utilize attributes in the queries, such as display products that are caffeinated. Smart queries are accessed within the SmartView panel. At this point, I want to turn my focus to some of the latest features and functionality of SmartView. Submit data without refresh is one of my favorite new updates to SmartView. If you've worked with SmartView before, you probably have opened an existing SmartView file to update some numbers in the database, only to find out that when you go to submit the data, it used to force you to refresh the spreadsheet, and then you lose all of your changes. Now you can submit data without refresh. For me, that means more fireworks. The screenshot displays the various options for submitting data. As you'll see here, submit data without refresh, and then submit data range. The next one I want to look at is taking a look at submitting data ranges. Selecting the cells you want to submit to the database by simply using the Excel selection functionality. And then click on Submit Data icon to display the Submit Data options and choose Submit Data Range. The next feature that we will talk about is pivoting when you have multiple members from the same dimension in your grid. A lot of times we will be in the middle of analysis and we will need to move things around a bit. But you can't because you have more than one member represented from that dimension on the grid. This previously wouldn't allow you to pivot the dimensions of the point of view. If you look at the example, you will notice two columns, one for January and one for February. When I select Pivot to Point of View, it will now move those members from the period dimension to the POV. Notice that I put the two members, January and February, into a drop-down. This now allows you to toggle between January and February. The SmartView add-in allows planning administrators to import and work with metadata in SmartView via the planning admin extension. Metadata can be added, modified, including moving members within a hierarchy, and imported. Metadata properties can be modified as well. Looking at the example, you can see the member and its associated properties. This is a great tool to make massive updates leveraging Excel functionality such as copy and paste. I do want to point out, though, that this is for classic planning applications and it does not support EPMA planning applications. In case you're wondering, this extension is installed from Workspace. You can quickly and easily add attribute dimensions to an ad hoc sheet using the new Insert Attributes button available in the SmartView ribbon. Click Insert Attributes to add all the attribute dimensions in your database to the page, row, or POV toolbar. When the attribute dimensions are on the page or POV, you can pivot or drag them to the grid as required. You can add attribute dimensions at any time during the ad hoc session. Once inserted, the attribute dimensions can be pivoted to the grid to support your analysis. Ever try to select a member and wonder what account A60376 really is, or instead of Jan, you want to see the actual name of the month? Aliases can now be displayed during member selection within SmartView. To see aliases instead of member names, click on the hierarchy icon and select Alias Table from the drop-down. You will notice on the left side of the window, the descriptions appear now instead of the month and quarter abbreviation. What I want users to know about the document contents pane is that you can refresh your data, and you can also toggle between your database connections, all within the document contents pane. You can see the two examples here that I have with the arrows. Lastly, this next option is pretty cool. It's one of my favorites as it impacts my SmartView setup by reducing the time to set my options for every new query. Do you prefer displaying decimals or whole dollars? Pressing rows with no data or showing zero values? Are you tired of resetting those options when you open a new connection? Now changes made to your SmartView options can be applied not only to the current sheet, but to all sheets in the workbook, or you can even save those as your default options and have them being used in all future workbooks. All right, Greg, that finishes my presentation today.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Shane, for presenting. And thank you all for joining us today for the webinar, SmartView, How to Look Smarter. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Shane's and my contact information are displayed on your screen. Thank you again for joining us for this webinar, and have a great day.